You come up on bridges that have a low clearance height, you don't always have a way to turn around or an alternate route. Now, luckily this bridge did have somewhere a detour to take, and so we came down on it, but there's an issue with this one as well. Alright guys, so we just decided to not venture out to try to find the Williams recreation area, which was BLM, which is kind of a bummer because it looked like a really great site. I'm not sure how anybody else found it. It's on the compendium site, BLM land, but every route brings us back to this private property gate, and we called the number and the guy didn't want to, tell us how to get to the actual road. So that was out. So we looked, we found.
So we found another place, Nacimiento Ferguson Road, which is about 30 minutes or so from where we were at over Williams Hills.
Right, but we had already driven like 4
so we drove
hours.
But you know what the worst feeling is?
Oh, what?
The worst feeling is when you're driving down a road and you come across a height restriction.
Yes.
And then you're like paranoid whether or not if you can make it through.
Exactly. And we've had this happen to us several times, which, we've put lots of things in place and talked about it, before, so that all of us know if we come up on one, what we are going to do. Every time it's a little different, but you know.
And I know there's some GPSs that are out there that you can actually plug in your height and your width, and that will help you to avoid any low passes or anything like that. But we don't have that type of GPS.
Plus
we use Waze.
But where we're at, we didn't have service, so we lost service. So this is what we came up across. This is the bridge that we came up on. As you see, it says the weight limit is 60 tons, which is fine. So that we're nowhere near that. But then we came up on this and we saw height 11.2, sides 11.2, and we were like, oh no, that's not gonna work for us. So we backed up a little and then we went down that way, and there was a detour down there, but unfortunately this is what we found. Do not cross due to dangerous conditions when flowing water is present, okay? No stopping, no standing, no swimming. So it's open to go, but you see that, guys? There is water flowing. Yeah, so we pulled the house all the way down here. Well, not down this far, but we drove down here thinking, okay, well, we'll go this way. But then we saw the water. So we had to mutually walk down. And although, you see, let me see if you can see. So it's not a lot of water, you can see all the way across, but don't get fooled by that. A lot of times it takes a little bit of water because of the current to push you over, and we were not gonna chance it. So our only other option, well, 2 options I guess. One is to just turn around, find something else, or cross over the bridge. After we made the right call to not try to chance going through that water, we decided we were gonna just leave. So we came back out and we were headed out. And as we were turning, I noticed over here, you see, on the bridge, although up here it says 11.2, it says right over there 12. with an arrow up. And we're like, okay, so maybe it's a 12-foot clearance, not 11.2, because this over here says the sides are 11.2. So we were like, okay, let's just try it. Let's get up top. So we had Dimitri up top just so that we had a bird's eye view, Aaron in the front, Tiara in the back, and I was driving so that we could slowly just come up on the bridge to see if we could get over it. And then at the very end, that's what made me worry though, is that it looked like it had been bent up some and it was down, and you see like they have little like red streamers hanging from it. So that was my biggest concern, was if that wasn't a true 12-foot.
One thing that we've learned really fast is that you got to know the size of your rig. And when I say the size, I mean more importantly the height of your rig. A lot of times you'll come across places in the road where there's a height restriction. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I got a ruler, measuring tape, and we're going to measure. From the top of the roof to the ground is about 10 feet. So we also want to make sure that we take into consideration the highest thing on the roof. So which is going to be the air conditioning. From the roof to the top of the air conditioning, looking at about 14 inches. So when we add that together, we're looking at about 11.4. So for us, I like to be on the safe side, and I usually like to say anything under 12, I'm not doing it.
So I am going on the roof, and I am gonna go straight through a bridge. We have to make sure the clearance is okay. So I'm gonna get all the way up here, and I'm gonna make sure that we can get through that bridge as we go slowly through, all right? Here we go. Let's go.
Just because the bridge has the height and the length doesn't always mean that it's going to have the actual clearance. So you have to take certain precautions. Luckily, the fam and I, we are a team when it comes to this, and we work it all out. We get up there. We had Dimitri up on the roof going slow. I was going slow driving. Aaron was out making sure that we could get across. Tiara was watching the back, and then yeah, so we made it across. But you definitely have to have precautions in place, otherwise it could not only be detrimental to the house, but you know, it's a possibility of losing lives, so you always got to stay safe.
Did you see that? What an amazing view, man. Going through that bridge was a little scary, but we got through it and it was awesome. So, traveling Pisces out, Mamucho's out, baby.